Hello everyone, and welcome back to the support group for how to handle getting everything you've ever wanted. Now, normally I don't really talk about news type things, just isn't really a thing that necessarily interests me to talk about all that much, but with the back-to-back bombshells that we just got, kinda can't help myself. Real quick though, if you're not already, like, comment, subscribe, all the good YouTube-y things. Also, Twitch and Twitter, those are things. In fact, Twitch, we've talked about a lot of this stuff and brainstorming a lot of the things that we're actually getting right now. So, you know, feel free to drop a follow, come stop in, hang out sometime. It's really fun. With all that annoying self-plugging out of the way. Oh, okay. First things first, get the surprisingly less exciting thing for me out of the way, and that's reprints, and a lot of them. Holy crap. Between the Revival selection and the new V clan selection that we're going to be getting, so much they are giving us. There's a few things that you probably would like to see that aren't there. All I can say is please be patient. They can't necessarily give us everything we wanted all at once, because let's be real here, there's a lot that we need and would like to see, but this is 100% a step in the right direction, and I can only hope that they continue to go forward with this from here on out and continue to do these same things. If you or someone you know has been interested in getting into the premium format and wanting to try it out, the cost barrier that I know has been very off-putting for a lot of people because they don't want to have to shell out a ton of money for really old cards at this point, that barrier is slipping away, which is great. And it's just so reassuring to me to see that premium is not being forgotten about, not at all. Even just the few that they teased for being reprinted are some cards that have been spiking in price and or getting bought out and then going up in price immediately. Really, really great there. Love to see it. Although, more AP, all I'm saying is, I better see some Purple Trapezist. I better see some Crayon Tiger. I better see some Ezra's. I know you said you're going to be reprinting Stand Triggers, but I better see some Cursed Eye Ravens. I better see some Energy Girls. I better see some Catch Goals. Just saying, just saying. You know, there's no problems, no problems. Happy with everything you're doing, and you keep continuing to impress me. Can't be happy enough, but also, I better see some of these reprints, guy. All right, just saying. That came across vaguely threatening. Did not mean for it to come across vaguely threatening. I'm just really excited. And like I said, you know, I know there's some concerns with some of the reprints. Some people are already saying with the V clan selection, at least, that there's certain reprints they wanted to see in that set and they didn't see them. You're welcome to be concerned, but just know that we may not get everything we want just yet. This is just the start. So don't give up hope just yet. Just know that more of what we want may be coming further down the line. And wait a minute, is that Cat Buck? Now for the very exciting thing, the thing that I am so hyped about, Heal Guardians. We knew we were getting heals with effects. We knew that more than likely they were going to be defensive, and yet here they come, and everything I was expecting and or wanting, they completely blew away. 100% they knocked this completely out of the park. I don't even know where to begin. There's so much here. First, you know, I talked about in, I can't remember if it was on stream or in one of my videos, but I wanted to have G Guardians before grade 3. And for all intents and purposes, that is exactly what we got. And it's defensive creep. We've been asking for defensive creep for so long, and it just feels so good just to feel heard. Oh my God. So much of what's been happening since overdress has started just feels like the community is being listened to, and that is so good. And again, I want to reiterate, even if you're not seeing everything you want to just yet, be patient. There's no way it's not coming at this point. But enough of the hype about these things out of the way. What do these things even do? Well, the main thing to keep in mind is that all of these things, defensive effects, occur before you ride to grade 3. Now, that was a bit of a sticking point for me at first, but we'll get into why that's not such a big deal. When they are placed on the Guardian Circle, if you have not ridden to grade 3 at any point during this game, you can choose one of the following, which is your Vanguard gets plus 10k until end of turn. Now, the fact that that's end of turn is great because it just gives you an immediate defensive trigger. You don't have to gamble on hopefully seeing one to help you defend through your turns. That just helps you survive so that you ideally don't just get outright killed before you even get the chance to play the game. The other skill that you can choose is that one of your opponent's units gets critical -2 till end of turn. Not so scary anymore, is it? You just immediately knock them down. And also important to keep in mind that these effects do stack. They are not once per turn, which is really great because if you have more than one and your opponent is just going all out to make sure you die before you even get to play the game, not a thing anymore. The other thing they do is a rearguard skill. When they're placed, if you have no cards in your damage zone, you get a damage. This fixes so much in especially the premium format. I'm sure it probably corrects some things in V premium as well, but you know, my main focus is the premium format and now overdress standard as well. Don't really mess around too much with V premium. I have to echo what Solemn said on Twitter in that this kind of gives me the vibe that there's some bans coming soon. This fixes issues that people have with Bobo, fixes issues that people have with Huam. Unlike Huam, where your opponent, if you get it turn 1, your opponent is going to sit there and repeatedly give you damage. And unlike Bobo, where it can end up giving you more than 1 damage because you can just keep using them, this effect immediately turns off the second you get a damage. So you're only ever going to get 1. There's no chancing into getting more than 1 Bobo with these. That's if they ban Bobo. Let's keep that in mind. Just taking these at face value with nothing else in mind. This isn't a Bobo effect. You can't just sit there, call 1 down, give yourself a damage, use that damage, call down another Bobo, countercharge that damage and get another damage on top of it. Not a thing that happens. On top of that, they just have 15k shield on their own. But the most important thing to keep in mind is that these are grade 3. We have completely broken all the molds that have been set up for us since the start of Vanguard. We've already seen them kind of expanding their horizons with order triggers. Now we're seeing grade 3 triggers. Like, what is this freaking Vanguard 0? Like, what is going on? This brings some implications of if you have these in hand and you don't have the right grade 3 in hand, probably gonna have to ride this, or at least you can't G-assist for the correct one. These are searchable off of our grade 3 searchers. So that just immediately makes the grade 3 searchers a bit more viable in my mind going forward, in premium at least. Not to mention, I would love to see them experiment with this even more, because if we have triggers of different grades, if they're not locked to just 0s, the possibilities for deck building are just completely blown open. Now, I made my video about wanting the ride deck in other formats, but if Bushiroad continues to give us triggers of other grades, and if they were to even be so bold as to give them Vanguard and Rearguard skills, what do we need the ride deck for anymore? We're not forced to run 17 grade 0s minimum in a deck just because we have to have our mandatory 16 triggers and our starter. I'm just saying. Would the ride deck be more ideal? Yes, definitely, because you still have the chance to misrun and stuff, but this is an incredible step in a really exciting direction, and I could not be happier with it. Now, at first, I was a little bummed to see that these only worked before you rode to grade 3 in a game, but in all honesty, especially looking at this in the lens of premium, that's great. Because it doesn't invalidate G-guarding as a mechanic. Because honestly, if you could use these from your grade 3 turn onwards, you probably would never have much of a use to use your G-Guardians unless, you know, you have a really, really good skill that you're trying to get off to help your deck run the way it's supposed to. And that's great. That being said, please, new premium collection with new G-Guards on at least at this level, or ideally more than this level, because, oh boy, are some clans really suffering in the G-Guarding department. But this continues to fix so many issues. These do so much. These are great defensively before you get to grade 3. It's essentially a G-guard before you get to grade 3. Because these are grade 3s, you can also use them to stride. Because they're heal triggers, you can also use them to G-guard. This just opens up so many opportunities, both for deck building and play. Just, it's really great. Anyways, that's probably enough for me here. I need to go calm down or something. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. Till next time.